Hello YouTubers, this is your driver Scott, and I'm trying something a little different here. One of the things I want to do is I want to post more often, and I did make a couple of videos, but they were really short. I'm thinking that the video should be somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, and these were like 2 minutes, a minute and a half, these were real short. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to take all of those subjects and put them together in one, or if I'm going to try to edit them together. Not sure. Anyway, I wanted to get this video done real quick. This isn't something that anything in particular that's happened. What this is conversations that I have quite frequently as I'm driving people around. And a lot of times we end up talking about what's going to happen, what's coming up. When you have a lot of people in the car, you get a lot of different interests, a lot of different people saying, different things about everything. Plus, I've done research, believe it or not. Yes, I've actually read a book and watched a video and read some articles and stuff like that. But with that, combined with everything that I've discussed with a lot of different people, one of the things I want to talk about is like where things are going. And of course, I can't predict the future. No one really can. But as I sit here now, what I think is going to happen, let me drop my opinion on you here real quick. Those of you who know, this is going to seem like an old hat, but there's quite a few of you out there that I know who watch my videos who don't really pay attention to this stuff. So I kind of wanted to let you know what's happening. Uber, from the very beginning, has said that they're looking for a driverless car. The goal is you have the car on the road, it's on the road 24/7, it stops to get gas, and it stops to have its oil changed, and it stops to have, maintenance on the car. But it's out on the road 24/7. You don't have to worry about, the guy having to go to sleep or see his family or, eat, human stuff. You don't have to worry about that. You just have a driverless car on the road and it can just go 24/7 and just do the maintenance stops. So they've always said that. Uber said that that's what they're going to do. And Lyft too. But, Uber as the leaders, pretty much Lyft is going to follow what Uber says. But let me tell you what kind of happened. Google has been working on a self-driving car too. One of their Alphabet companies was working on a driverless car. And the guy who was in charge of that, by the way, there's a huge compound over in California that the Google car has been seen driving around. But, it's on private property and they're doing a lot of the testing as far as that's concerned. So what happens is the guy who was in charge of that department, that subsidiary of Alphabet, ended up leaving the company. And he formed his own company called Otto. And Uber bought that. And, of course, right away Google slapped a lawsuit on Uber, and saying that this guy had taken like 10,000 patents from Google when he left the company. And right now it's in court. They're trying to, figure out what's going on with that. But in the meantime, that just goes to show you how passionate Uber is about this. And the last article I read, and I could get my numbers wrong, I think there was like 24,000. Google had ordered Uber ordered 24,000 driverless cars. When they're going to get delivered and how they're going to work it, I don't know. My feeling is Google doesn't want to own the cars. They don't want to have to deal with all of that stuff, that overhead. So I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm going to circle back around to it and how it's going to affect Uber and Lyft and the rideshare platform. In either case, Google has now partnered with Lyft. They threw a lot of money. Google threw a lot of money behind Lyft to help them, grow and become a much more viable company than they already are. So you have Google, who has been working on a driverless car for a while now, and they're partnered with Lyft. And you have Uber, who has stated numerous occasions that yes, they're going to go with the driverless car. So what's the deal with this driverless car? Right now, there's a lot of beta testing going on. I've had people say, "Oh yeah, there's somebody died in the car, so it's not gonna fly." When that person died, what was going on was the person was trying to type reports, to report on how the car was doing and what was going on, and drive at the same time. And of course the car was doing the driving, but the person couldn't take over because they were busy typing reports. So what they're doing now, what you might see in some small areas where they're doing the beta testing, is you may see the guy behind the wheel, the driver, and the car will be sort of like cruise control. He's ready to take over. The driver's ready to take over at any moment. And next to him will be somebody who's doing the reports now. And that's going to go on while they're working out all the little bugs, whatever little bugs they need to be worked out. And believe me, there are a lot of bugs. But if you get something like that in your city where they're doing that beta testing, they're going to ask you to sign a liability form that they're not liable and that it is doing beta testing and you don't mind, you're okay with that. So anyway, in about 5 years' time, here's what I think is going to happen. You're going to see a lot more driverless cars, cars that drive themselves on the road. They won't be driverless yet. You'll have the driver behind the wheel, and what he'll be doing is he'll be there again, like cruise control. He'll be ready to take over at any moment. And then from there, you're gonna have in about 10 years' time, you're gonna see more driverless cars where there's literally no one behind the wheel. You're gonna push the button, the car's gonna come, and you're gonna get in and drive. Now there'll still be people driving cars. I talk to a lot of people, and there's a lot of people very resistant to this. And most of the people are kind of like my age, give or take 10 years. They want to hold on to that control of driving a car. And I get that because, I like to drive my own car too. What I think is going to happen is the younger people are going to adapt to it. Like when I was 16, getting my driver's license, that was like a rite of passage. It meant freedom. It meant, now I can drive. I can go where I want to do, that kind of thing. Well, kids these days are holding off on getting a driver's license. They have the freedom already because they just order an Uber or they order a Lyft. That's their freedom. Their parents can monitor where they're going and what they're doing, but they have the freedom to go where they want to go. Parents are more willing to let them go to a party as long as they know the car's going to come take them home. So there's less need for them to go out and get a car. Now, here's what else is going to happen. Once they work out all the kinks, most of the accidents that happen because of human error. Usually because it's some idiot driving on I-95 looking into his phone rather than paying attention to the road. So what'll happen is that people that are in driverless cars, their insurance rates are going to go down. And more people are going to head towards driverless cars in order to get the lower insurance rates. So it's heading in that direction. I don't think there's anything any of us can do to stop it. It's going to happen. It's no matter what, how much we may want to resist it. What I think is going to happen in 20 years' time, you're still going to have people that are going to buy and collect cars that you drive yourself. It's sort of along the lines of like now when you have vinyl records. You have people, they buy the vinyl records and they use the vinyl records, but most people don't even know what vinyl records are these days. They just stream the information. A lot of kids don't, 20-somethings and younger, they don't know what vinyl is, and they just stream music. So I think it's going to be along those lines where people are going to need a car. They're not going to bother with buying the car. They're not going to bother with paying for the insurance and paying for maintenance of the car and gas and anything like that, because it's going to be so dirt cheap to just push a button and they'll get it, which means you won't have guys driving rideshare. And again, that's not tomorrow, that's down the road. You got 10, 20 years before all of this becomes so prominent. And as far as that's concerned, the older people, they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to go with it. And the younger people, I think, are really going to embrace this technology and move forward with it. There are kinks that still need to be worked out. I'm going to have videos on navigation coming up. And, that kind of stuff needs to be worked out. There's no way it's not going to work out without the navigation going. But traffic's going to become lighter, and it's going to become lighter because cars are talking to each other. And, you don't have... If you look at how traffic accidents or traffic pileups happen, I don't mean pileups, I mean how traffic occurs, how you get this stop and go traffic. It has nothing to do with accidents or anything. It has everything to do with humans slamming on their brakes for no reason. And then the person behind them slams on the brakes, the person behind them slams on the brakes. But if the cars are all talking to each other, what's going to happen is you're going to have it's going to be a rather smooth transition. Some people are resistant because they believe people are going to break into the cars and start taking them over. And I think there's already a movie out there about that. But I don't think it's possible, only because I want to get into blockchain technology in another video. But what I think is going to happen is you're not going to be able to jump into one car and take it over. You're going to have to take over like this whole section of the city, which I believe they'll have firewalls, sort of like the iCloud, where people can't break into iClouds unless they come in through my phone. They'll have access to my stuff, but they won't be able to get into the iCloud from my phone and get other people's stuff. So I think once they work this out, and they're working on it, it won't, it's just going to happen. It's coming up. Another part of what's coming up in the future I want to talk about is more cryptocurrency. But I seem to be running out of time for the time frame that I want for my videos. So let me know what you think about this experiment that I'm trying, where I'm coming home after a long ride, and I'm talking on the phone while I'm driving, and I'm watching what's going on around me, so I'm driving safe, and there's no cars around me now. I'm completely in the clear. But also, let me know what you think about the future in driverless cars, where you think things are going to happen. I'd love to hear your comments below. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, you can comment. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear what you got to say about it. The few comments that I have gotten, I really like them. They would give me something to think about, things I haven't thought about in a while, or things that from a different angle that I hadn't thought about. So anyway, let me know what you think. And this is your driver, Scott, and I'm signing out. Have a great day.